Hi and welcome to our channel. If you are new to our channel, my name is Chris.
And I'm Ryan.
And we are in search of the good life on the road.
Full-time RVers
Full-time
since
RVers.
December last year.
Yep.
So.
And right now we are in Florida, and specifically we are in St. Augustine. We just arrived in Florida yesterday, and we are going to be here for 5 months.
Yeah, through February.
Yep, till the end of February. It is almost the 1st of October, 2021. And we're going to be here
in Florida. We're going to be in lots of different places in Florida. Right now we're in St. Augustine just for a week, and then we're on the way to Orlando and eventually the Keys. Just going to make our way up and down the coast and spend lots of time in some great places.
Yeah, and so this video is going to be about St. Augustine, our time here.
Yep.
This is the coolest town. My sister got married here 20 years ago, and that was the last time that we were here. And we wanted to check it out. And just driving to our restaurant tonight, I am reminded about how cool this town is. We're going to come and explore in a couple of days the whole historic area, and we'll give you some facts about this historic area. But we're going to bring our bikes and tool around on our bikes because there's all these one-way roads and little teeny roads. It's so cool here. Stay tuned and we'll show you St. Augustine. Hi!
You guys get a waiver?
Yeah. Will you agree to be on YouTube? Sure. There are many shops and restaurants in downtown St. Augustine, and coming down at night is a fun and cooler time of day to enjoy the sights. We had a nice dinner and walked around and kept a lot cooler than when we visited during the day. Are you ready for the medieval torture
No.
collection?
Not really.
Ryan found a shop for me.
Fossils, minerals, meteorites, shark.
What? Oh boy. Gotta come back. The historical downtown St. Augustine is not very big and can be explored on foot, but to cover more ground, biking is a good way to do it. However, that said, there are not dedicated bike trails or lanes, and it can be a little treacherous in certain places. Also, many of the streets are quite narrow, so if you do bring a vehicle into town, you may have trouble in some places. We did bring our huge pickup truck into town, though we would not recommend it, and we opted for our bikes the next day. There is parking, but it is limited down in the city. We also hopped on the city trolley and learned a lot about the city's history, and it was a fun way to get around as well. You can buy a pass for about $35 and hop on and off all day. A little sweaty?
Yeah, it's about 10 o'clock, so we're going to go and have a little wine.
Because what else to do at 10 o'clock in the morning?
Have some wine.
Have some wine.
And then we'll go find, maybe the brewery or the distillery and some lunch this afternoon, and that'll be a take.
Yeah, we're on our bikes. It's really hot. So I'm flaking out already, probably on the bikes. I'm already drippy, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
There you go. Alrighty. St. Augustine is actually the birthplace of American wine. We were making wine here 150 years way before even California was even a state. Started off with the French before the Spanish came in and happened to massacre them all. But they took over the vineyards and then made muscadine wines right here in St. Augustine. So that's why the Matanzas River is actually called the Matanzas River, because at one point it ran completely red with the blood, and Matanzas is actually the Spanish word for massacre.
That's lovely.
Is that the sherry you said?
It is. Definitely got the raisin.
Oh, this is gorgeous! So we're at this little park here. We would never have found this place if it weren't for the tips from the locals as I'm trying to talk. I don't know what the name of this park is. Do you?
No, but we'll find out. It makes a really cool noise.
Look at this view here. We would have never found this park if it weren't for the tips. We spent probably an hour and a half at the winery, and the little girls there gave us so many ideas on things to do, and this park was one of them. I wonder when this was built. Is there any sort of history? But unity, equal, you have rights to break every chain. Stop the violence. Let us be part of the American dream. Equality, freedom, courage. Love it. St. Augustine was founded in 1565 and is the oldest continuously occupied city and port established by Europeans in the continental United States. Don Pedro Menendez, who first landed in what is now St. Augustine, named the town after St. Augustine of Hippo, the patron saint of his hometown in Spain. The fort that is in town was originally named the Castillo de San Marcos by the Spanish who built it. It was renamed Fort St. Mark by the British, then renamed again Fort Marion. Its original name was restored by Congress in 1942. Henry Flagler, railroad tycoon, made St. Augustine a tourist destination for the rich in the late 1800s by building several hotels. He also built schools, churches, and a hospital in the city. His influence is very prominent when you take the city tours. Here are some fun facts about St. Augustine. You can take ghost tours, as rumor has it many spots in town are haunted. It has the oldest wooden schoolhouse and the narrowest street in the U.S. It is home to the oldest Ripley's Believe It or Not, which opened in 1950. The legendary Fountain of Youth, made famous by explorer Ponce de Leon, is in St. Augustine, located at what is now called the Fountain of Youth Archaeological Park. So we've decided to ditch the bikes, and we're standing outside of the Castillo de San Marcos National Monument. We decided we weren't going to do the full tour today, mostly because we're being cheap. It's $15 a person, which isn't a huge deal, but there's a whole lot of other things that we want to see. I feel like we couldn't really give it justice. It's really hot. Yeah, so we had such a wonderful time at the winery this morning, and we biked all over. And this is the waterfront that we just biked down, and now we're heading to get some lunch. But St. Augustine, I tell you what, is just so cool. It's really better for walking, not as much biking. There's just no bike paths per se. So where we are, where our campground is, it's really biker friendly. We can bike all over. But these little streets are super tight and quaint. So we decided to stow the bikes. Speaking of that, did you lock the car? Did you lock the car? They have these trolleys that can take you through town as well. Okay, we made it to Harry's. Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill. Historic St. Augustine. So St. Augustine is the oldest city in America, and it was founded in 1565. Things have changed a little bit since then, I'm sure. E-bikes and such. But it has all the charm of yesteryear.
Hello, sir.
How are you today?
All right, you?
Fantastic.
This is strong medium demand.
Hippolyta. This is the road that we drove our dually diesel down right here. This is what Ryan thought would be great for a diesel dually. This is the Columbia where we ate the other night, which we weren't as thrilled about as our Harry's lunch. Harry's was amazing. Cute little park here. So these shops, a lot of these are kind of a little bit touristy, I would say. But on this day, we went to visit a small park that we visited 20 years ago when my sister got married down here. Without going into the details of that day, because they aren't my details to share, we wanted to revisit the park to show my sister and her husband some photos, and time has not touched this quaint little park. It's just as sweet and beautiful as it was 20 years ago. There are also some beautiful beaches in St. Augustine which are worth your time. We aren't talking about those in this video, but if you want to see more, you can check out my Traveling Treasure Finder video about St. Augustine, and I will link that here. We really enjoyed St. Augustine, and if it coincides with any of your travels, we would highly recommend you stopping there. It's definitely worth the trip. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already and give us a thumbs up.